also politicians use them to either truncate democracy. We want to look at this and more. My name is Ben Adam Shemang, regular host of this program, Democracy in Action. And we have a guest who, all the while, an economist who is an operator with the Bureau de Change here in Abuja. I want to talk with Malam Ibrahim Tanimu. Thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Politics all over the place.
Yeah.
So how is Bureau de Change also ready for politics in Nigeria?
Well, whether there is politics or no politics, Bureau de Change is always ready and operational to serve end users of their FX needs.
Now, in terms of the needs of Nigerians,
yes,
what has been the role of Bureau de Change when it comes to the Nigerian economy? What support, what have been their roles?
Okay, let me give you an example. In 2006, the central banks, during the tenure of Chief Professor Soludo, in his wisdom, he now co-opted Bureau de Change into the official FX markets transactions. Prior to that, decades ago, it was the commercial banks were enjoying that privilege, so I can say. But when the Bureau de Change were integrated, that is sales of weekly dollars for also sales to the end users. Within first 3 months of that exercise, the rate stabilized between the official and the open market rates. There was stability for the first time within 3 months. So that is a great one from the BDC. And again, another thing is that it gives, it creates employment to a lot of citizens, because each Bureau de Change, the minimum staff strength of that company is the minimum 5. And there was a time we had 6,000 plus BDCs in Nigeria. So when you calculate the minimum, whereas some BDCs have up to 10 staffs. So you see, it creates employment, and then it regulates the market between the forces of demand and supply.
Now, when the CBN, the days of Soludo, now governor of Anambra State,
yes,
just felt instead of having just commercial banks to take charge, or Bureau de Change, having the connection with commercial banks.
Yes.
Then the CBN came in, and it became a direct intervention or something.
Of course, yeah, it was a direct intervention because the CBN started selling at that time $200,000 per BDC, and twice in a week at that time. Even though at that time the numbers of the BDC was not much, because at that time all over Nigeria the BDCs were not up to 50. But gradually the number keep on rising week in, week out, until we get to where we have over 6,000 BDC plus, and it serves the economy in a very positive way, because it creates a lot of opportunities and employment for the teeming citizens of the country. And
we also told that sometimes students going abroad,
yes,
the
yes,
Bureau de Change also.
Yes, part of the transaction were permitted to carry out There is personal traveling allowance. It has the maximum of 4,000 US dollars every quarter. And then there is also business travel allowance, BTA, that too for every quarter for civil servants and working class people. And then also, yes, school fees of students abroad, we assist them with their FX need to meet up for their registration and other academic expenses. And then mortgage subscription also. We also do that transaction, especially to Nigerians in diaspora.
Now, there's also this saying, or the practice, or belief rather,
Yes.
that the bureau de change, they tend to be faster when it comes to operations or payments or receiving or whatever money, compared with official bureaucracy that takes so much a long time. Can you explain some of these things?
Yes, you see, bureau de change is more of closer to the end users, and we are more. As you know, initially the commercial banks were the ones enjoying that privilege of CBN intervention to get dollar for sales to the end users. But as I said, when in 2006, the CBN now integrate the bureau de change, because we are many, so we are more accessible to the customers than the commercial banks. Hence the result of seeing the fast effectiveness and this thing.
Then the issue of different prices came on board.
Okay.
And so, therefore, if yours is faster, bureau de change is faster, commercial bank is slower, and they go through CBN. So, why should I choose to go to bureau de change if it's going to be faster, but it can cost me more?
Well, it's not really much. The difference is not much when you compare to the Herculean task of some of the bureaucracy you go through. So it will have been easier. But that's not even a kind of a constant situation, because there are times where even in the bureau de change, the rate in the BDC are cheaper than the commercial banks. So it's a kind of not really a kind of flexible situation sometimes. Yeah.
Now, the name, at the point some will say parallel market, some will say black market. I mean, does it not sound like kind of derogatory sometimes?
Well, it depends on the people that are giving that description. But let me tell you, the parallel market is the first kind of exchange business that we have here in Nigeria for many, many decades ago. I can say 50 to 60 years. It started from buying of this thing, exchange of products, like these arts and crafts Nigerians that sells their product to the foreigners. So when they come, they don't have naira to change. They give them the foreign currency, either dollars or euro. Even though at that time it was this thing, French francs and the rest of them. Euro was not in existence. So that's how it started gradually. And at that time, the government's eyes are not in that kind of transaction until during around Babangida's period, when he now reformed the system and that gave birth to bureau de change, whereby if you want to be in that business, previously you were doing it without government authorization. He now came up with this reform that you have to apply and get a license initially from the Ministry of Finance, before later it comes to central banks that were issuing the license for operators to operate as this thing. So that is how it has been. And in the license, there are rules and regulations guiding the operation, unlike the parallel market. So, in my opinion, I would have advised the government to integrate the parallel market operators, sensitize them so that to carry out the operation in a modern and a better, positive way.
So, what does it take, for example, for one to go into this DBC
BDC
business? Yes.
Well, it takes a lot. Now, with this current CBN guidelines, now it takes it's a Herculean task because there are two types of BDCs. Number one, there is going by the new guidelines. There is Tier 1 BDC, and the capital base of a Tier 1 BDC is 2 billion naira, and they are allowed to have their branches all over the nation. The second one is called Tier 2, and the capital base of Tier 2 is 500 million naira, and that Tier 2 is only allowed to have branches within the state it has registered.
Now, in terms of a stable naira,
yes,
what does it take for the naira to be so stable, bearing in mind the fluctuations we are seeing? I said the naira is up today, is down tomorrow. It's not stable. So what does it take?
The thing is that we so much rely on foreign product. That's the root of all our problem. We are not that productive to the extent that we can satisfy our needs, especially in goods and services. So the truth of the matter is that we just have to be productive. And for us to be really productive, we need to have stable electricity, stable infrastructures, and then stable consistency in government policies. So this and the thing is that again, the government should also encourage small-scale entrepreneurs and producers to enable them produce at least the basic things that we need, from clothes, shelters, and the rest of it.
Yes, you're saying that we love foreign things.
Yes,
reminds me of just last week I saw that a tire for a car.
Yes.
You could see made in Nigeria.
Yes,
and the way Nigerians celebrated it so much. Why is it that we just love, when it comes to Nigerian items, we see them as down there? When it comes to foreign ones, I mean, that love for them, that craze for all of this.
Well, it's the mentality that we have that anything foreign is good. And then again, the local producers, they are having serious challenges in producing the goods that they are producing because of the high cost of energy, and then inconsistent policy. Today there is this policy in place, tomorrow there's, and then instability contributes a lot. So you see, but if the government government after government have consistency of policies for this to encourage the citizens to be productive, that would be very good to the economy. And again, like the Nigerian Orientation Agency, to put in the heads of Nigeria that let us patronize our own product. Let us be patriotic. Our product, for example, this watch, maybe it's a foreign or local one. So let's appreciate the people that are using foreign products, starting from the government officials. Their vehicles, the kind of, their children should be schooling in Nigeria. If they are seeking for medical help, they should attend Nigerian hospitals. So those are the things that we need to, that culture we need to imbibe for our product to be appreciative and to be so that people will be happy to be patronizing the product of Nigeria.
Yes, I can see that virtually every Friday in Nigeria,
Yes.
or maybe in Abuja, federal workers are encouraged to always dress in native. You know, so this is a way you're talking about when you mention National Orientation
starting
Agency.
from the political elites. Let's see all the political elites, their children schooling here in Nigeria. If they need medical attention, let them attend in Nigerian hospitals. And then tourism also. Tourism. It has become like something of a pride for someone who have traveled to so country. Why we have a lot of places that we can do tourism, go to holidays here in Nigeria. So if we have that culture, I am telling you, in no distant time, our local currency will start having a good appreciation.
Yes. You mentioned tourism also takes me to Argungu Fishing Festival.
Yes. And there is another one in Taraba, Ibi.
Okay.
Wuye Fishing Festival. And like the Doba in Kano, in Katsina, and Sokoto, and other festivals in the south. So people should be encouraged to attend those events and even invite foreigners too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Where I'm going to, I actually witnessed that of 2026, and I could see, yes, very big catches were made.
Yes.
But do I call it disappointment? One was thinking that for the 5 days that this event was going on, one would have been seeing fish joints to show that, oh, this is the event.
Yes.
One would have also thought that within the fishing village, you have maybe a kind of a hotel where you can just go and just take this fish. Then when you also look at it, some people who are just catching fishes, even though they were not that big, they were just in a haste to sell them along the road and off they go back to the... So you could see international people coming to see all of this, but sometimes the organization...
Yeah, you see, they need to be promoted, need to be encouraged, package whatever product and services they are. Let me give you an example like this Nollywoods, Kannywoods of a stops. You see, before, decades ago, Nigerians, they are more in love in watching all these foreign movies. But now, they are booming, and they are fetching the country a lot of effort.
Sure.
As foreigners too are interested, they are also patronizing this thing. So that is how it should be in any other thing, like the furnitures, our schools, hospitals, Nigerian hospitals too. We expect people from neighboring foreign countries to come here for their own medical attention. So those are, and honestly, it takes a lot. The government, the private organizations, all of them need to put their heads together to ensure that they are promoting Nigerian products, goods and services to Nigerians and to the foreigners.
And you can imagine when you had this Abuja Carnival that was taking place, especially the period of President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yes.
But suddenly these things die, but you keep on changing the names of the name of the ministry.
Inconsistency. They are consistent. Each year, period, they evaluate where did we get it right, where did we fall behind. How are we going to move forward? Consistent doing. They say a journey with a journey to 1,000 miles begins with a step.
One step, yes.
So, consistency, I am telling you, if there is consistency in government policies and the rest of it, in a no distance time we'll get there, because this country is blessed.
And that was also ensure the stability of the Naira.
Yeah.
Now, that also takes us to Dangote refinery, for example.
Yes.
Now that it has come, since it was commissioned or started, you could see that queues are gone. And that also says something about foreign exchange. Say something about that.
Yeah, you see, Dangote, I'm telling you, is one of the best things that happens to Nigeria. Because as it is now, if not for the Dangote refinery, as it is now, the price of PMS will have hit 2,000 by now. And again, how did he get it? Administration after administration supported him, and here we are. And Nigerians are better for it. So the government should try and create more of Dangotes in every sector, health sector, tourism, any other sector, sports, and the rest of them. They should try and create more of Dangotes. And then Dangote, you know, his product now, the refinery is now among the best, or I can say the best refinery with the highest number of capacity. So you see, if there is the political will to do it, I'm telling you, in no distance time, we'll get there.
But you can also see that even back home, we've been talking about consuming the Nigerian good.
Yes.
You see some people say, oh, Dangote petroleum or petrol is higher compared with imported one. Apart from that, you also see that at the point NNPCL was denying Dangote the crude oil to refine and sell to Nigerians.
Well, that's a different thing because that's the oil sector, and as Nigerians, there are a lot of negative reports about that sector. But I believe Dangote, as I said, is one of the best things, and thanks to all the administration that supported him from this administration and the previous administration. And as you can see, he's giving out one of the best products. And then again, he's a businessman. He is doing his business to make profit. It's not a charitable organization. You don't expect him to lower his price to the level that he will not make profit. So that is it. But I'm still optimistic. It's still a new refinery, and then there are other peoples now that are trying to emulate him to be his competitors. That's very good to the economy. The government should also encourage them. Let us have many Dangotes in all the sectors, in the oil sectors and all other sectors, for the betterment of all Nigerians.
And that will bring stability of the Naira.
By God's grace, inshallah.
Good. Now, we move to another thing, this recapitalization.
Yes.
Now, the federal government,
yes,
let me put it this way, is saying all BDCs,
yes,
must go recapitalization, have more money, else you are pushed out of business. Let's know more of this. Yes,
that's reform. And you know, whenever reforms come out, the effects is not that, you may not find it that easy, because initially the capital base of Bureau de Change was 35 million naira. And just check out the difference between 35 to 500 or 2 billion naira. I would have loved that the CBN wouldn't have taken it to that high base, because honestly, as it is now, over 95% of operators were unable to recapitalize. Over 95%. That means they will be out of business. I would have wished that prior to that decision, they should have invited all the stakeholders that, look, we want to have this reform. Let's put our head together and see what are we going to do. Everybody, reform should always be welcome, and you know, as they say, no condition is permanent, but there are certain things that they should look at the situation so that it can give a better result. As I said, as it is now, more than 95% of our members will be out of market because of this capital reform.
And we are talking of time lapse?
Yeah, I believe the time frame is ongoing, even though it's just open. They have not mentioned that it is closed or it's still ongoing. For some of us that we are still in the process of recapitalizing from the previous 35 to upgrade to the required CBN standard.
Now, can a bureau de change office,
yes,
or a branch or an operator,
yes,
if he's buoyant enough,
yes,
can he acquire some other people, or some groups can form one in order to meet the recapitalization?
Of course, yes. There are guidelines. If you go into the guidelines deeply, merger is allowed, acquisition is allowed. So, but you know, the amount here that we're talking is on the high side. When you are used to 35, that 35, remember too, is a group of shareholders that owns it. It's not for one person. And they say, according to the guideline, the minimum number of shareholders of 500 million share capital is between 3 to maximum of 5. And for the Tier 1 BDC, the minimum of shareholders is 5 and maximum 7. So when you calculate, you will see that each shareholder, the number of amount you will contribute to invest for that company to float is not a small money.
So, if in the end, therefore, no merger, no acquisition,
yes,
and you can't make it,
yes,
so you close shop.
Of course, that is it. It's as simple as that.
So what happens to all those employed? If you're talking about 75%.
Yes, that means they lost their job and they should go elsewhere and look for a job. That is just it.
But there used to be associations.
Yeah.
Aren't they there any longer?
For now, of course, the association is there, but as I said, there are members, most of the members, around 95, were unable to recapitalize as it is now. So the issue of association for now is by the side, pending when the whole application process is completed. Then we'll now come and see from where are we going to continue. But for now, everybody is concentrating on recapitalizing.
So, if there are problems, for example, we can't recapitalize, we cannot do a merger and all that. So, where do you carry your cries to if everybody is on his own?
Honestly, for now, if that is the case, I'm sorry, I don't know what an operator would do. The thing is that if you cannot recapitalize, that means you are on your own. You just have to close shop.
So
for now, that's how it is.
So lawmakers are not looking at the role of the bureau de change in terms of supporting the Nigerian economy, the executive. You
see, the thing is that my understanding is like they want to reduce the number drastically, and that is really what is going on. The number has gone down drastically. As it is now, there are registered 82 registered bureau de change all over Nigeria, but there are some applications process that are still ongoing. But as it is, honestly, I don't see the situation whereby we get that numbers of that we used to have before, like 6,000 bureau de change or this thing.
Now look at the exchange rate today.
Yes.
I mean, does it give you a thing of concern?
Of course, yes. The exchange rate, as I said earlier, you see, we depend on the foreign products, and the rate as it is now, foreign indices determines the value of our naira, not we, Nigeria. So, because we are not producing, you understand? So, until we are producing reasonably to our basic demands, that is what back the value of Naira that gives it support. But as we are not producing, we'll just be managing to see how the currency will be stable as much as we can, because there are other factors that are beyond us, the country. It is the international, the foreign factors, external factors determines the value of our Naira.
So, can an external factor like the crisis in the Middle East affect your market today?
Of course, for
How?
sure. Because the major product of Nigeria is oil. So when the price shoots up, of course, it affects the value of Naira, and then you see the rate will shake. Thank God that there's even Dangote refinery that absorb around 40% demand of our oil needs. If not, by now the rate will have been.
Now, during the Gulf War in the 90s,
yes,
at the point Nigeria made some money because the war was on.
Yes,
and at the point they call it windfall from the Gulf War. And for that reason, there was the Petroleum Trust Fund, the money that was set aside.
The excess
Exactly.
crude oil, yes.
Exactly. And so, one is hearing that the price of crude oil is rising. Do we foresee that in Nigeria that we'll have excess money, even though from a bad situation?
Well, yeah, it's a bad situation up there. I pray that there is peace prevail in that area. But as it is now, the government and those that are saddled with the responsibility of our oil and gas sector, they are in better position to explain the situation.
Yeah. The program is Democracy in Action, and we have an operator of the Bureau de Change here in Abuja, Nigeria, and he is Alhaji Ibrahim Tanimu. My name is Ben Adam Shemang. We'll just go for a very short break and come back. When we do come back, we just look at it. Can politicians hijack any Bureau de Change and use it anyhow? Or members can just say, no, we call the bluff. We are helping to fight corruption. We'll come to all of that as we go on this short break.
Each week, one program. The most gripping crimes. The stories you won't forget. Crimes of the week on Third Eye Africa TV. We give you stories as it was reported. Stories from the Nigerian police, the NDLEA, NAPTIP, the EFCC, NAFDAC, and the ICPC. My name is Margaret Adewale. Watch Crimes of the Week only on Third Eye Africa TV every Sunday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Star Times Channel 146. Join us.
Welcome back. Now, at a point, some 2 years back or so, or 2 years and a half, there were times security agencies went into some areas in Sheraton and some Lagos areas and all that. They were harsh on BBC operations. And some people were arrested and all that stuff. How was the issue resolved?
Well, point of correction, it was not BDCs that were involved. You are talking about the issue of the enforcement agencies and the parallel market.
Yes.
So I think they are in better position to explain that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm talking about authorized transaction that has been licensed or approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay. Now, some people also feel that Bureau de Change could be used for money laundering. You believe in that?
Well, they say in any society there are good and bad eggs. I cannot say no or yes to this because we have laid down rules and regulation in carrying out our operations. And the first and foremost, before you embark on any transaction, you first of all do KYC. And KYC means you take the name and the details of the customer you are going to do transaction. You keep it, you do the transaction, you issue receipt, and at the end of the day, you file a report to regulatory agencies. The agencies are the NFIU and the Central Bank of Nigeria. So, in so doing, if a customer is a politician, by the time you start carrying out that due diligence KYC, of course you will know, and he has to give you his details, and then you now, if you carry out the business, if to say even permissible business, you carry out and then render returns from your end as an operator to the regulatory agency. And if it is not a permissible transaction, you don't do it. But as I said, there are people that cut corners. So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so this issue of a KYC, that is know your customer.
Yes.
And politically exposed persons.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what about inducements? Some people coming, look, these are bags of Naira, Ghana must go.
Yes.
And they now say, look, it's too much, the volume. Reduce it via hard currency.
Yes.
I mean, does it happen in some areas, in some cases?
Of course, it can happen. I will not say it will not happen, but as I said, there are laid down rules and regulations. If you carry out your distant KYC due diligence, and then some of the reports that as an operator we are trained to render, you do cash transaction, and it has a limitation. If the amount exceeds to a certain amount of money, you file it under CTR, cash transaction report. And then if the nature of business is suspicious, you file what is called STR, suspicious transaction report, and render. By so doing, you as an operator, you absolve yourself, you remove yourself from any irregularity or committing of money laundering. And from there, the regulatory agency will take it up.
Which means you also help in the fight against corruption.
Of course, yes, we do. We fight against corruption. We assist the government to do anti-money laundering. Yes.
But is that not a dangerous job too? When there are some shady deals and you are aware and you are saying no, and there's that fear that you might reveal it to government.
No. You see, we are trained on how to do it periodically by the central banks, by the NFIUs. We are trained to do it, just like the commercial banks too. It's the same training. You will not tell person openly that this is what you are going to do, but there are things that you request from that person without him knowing. But at the end of the transaction, it's mandatory for you as an operator to report to the agencies. So that's just it.
So how much can an operator have per day? Or something, you must not have something in excess. Is it allowed in law that you cannot have this volume of money?
As in volume of money for transaction? Or
yes,
what?
for transactions and all that.
Yeah, there are limitations. As I said earlier, once you buy from a customer, there are certain transactions they are permitted to sell to end users. As I said, you do PTA, which is $4,000.
So what's PTA?
Personal travel allowance. If you are traveling, you need something to pay for your hotel bills and your own personal expenses. So that's what it's called. And then there is for the business, if you are going like in a workshop or seminar abroad, and there is for medicals, medical fees, and there is school fees, and but all this, the amount is subject to review by the Apex Bank periodically from time to time. Yeah.
So we're getting close to the end of this. So you believe that as politics is coming,
Yes.
I mean, no politician can rattle or nobody, I mean, you are there, they are there, and holy jobs will join you.
Well, I pray that the issue of this political money things is controlled, because it takes all hands to be able to defeat that. The government side and the we operators, if everybody play his role according to by the rules, of course we will be able to curtail that menace.
Yes, I'm asking this because of what they call political crimes now.
Yes.
You can see EFCC with their red dresses,
Yes.
even in polling centers,
Yes.
waiting to see who is a vote buyer. And at the point, some people will say, "Oh, they are even using hard currency." So that's why I'm asking this.
Yes.
So to you now, politically,
Yes.
I mean, you have to stabilize.
Of course, we are trying our best. We are partners in progress with the government to fight corruption and to fight money laundering.
So how do you
And financial and terrorism financing also. Yes, we fight them.
And in most cases, terrorism financing and money laundering.
Yes.
Sometimes it's easy to do with the foreign currency.
Yeah, that's why we have been undergoing series of training periodically. You know, there is also a new method of doing things. So once it's discovered, it's up to the regulatory agency to summon us and then, okay, this is how to go about it. It's a continuous exercise. And glory be to God. The result is remarkable.
Do you sometimes even get some claps from ICPC, EFCC for some jobs well done?
Of course, yes, we do, because as I said, it's through our KYC if our members were invited for a PEP, that's a political exposed person. The evidences our members will give, most of them serve as witness at the court. And at the end of the day, there are so many amount of money that has been recovered through the effort of our members for giving out evidences.
You can now see why I was asking whether your job is not also a dangerous job.
Well, yes, of course we can say it is, but that's how it is. We just have to do it for our own self and for our country.
Okay. Now the issue of training, for example.
Yes.
How do you train your members to ensure that, look, these are the booby traps, these are the do's, these are the don'ts, and all that? How do you handle membership in terms of training them to be ideal of professional operators?
You see, we have national association. We have different stages of training. There is a training that is external, organized by the central bank or the NFIU. And there is also a training that is organized by the association itself. And that association is splitted into different zones. We have the North Central, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, South. So sometimes the training can be organized nationally and sometimes it's splitted. And we also do virtual training because to reduce cost of people traveling from one place to another. So we just do it in a different ways that we get the message.
Then there are times you go around Sheraton area. Now the name has changed, Intercontinental or something.
Yes.
You see people rushing. Oh, you have money to change. At the point they say, no, go back to your offices. And how do you handle those people?
It's not we that handle them. It's not our business, because as BDC operators, we have offices and we operate only in our offices. It's none of our business to be doing street business. No.
Okay. So, on the whole,
yes.
In conclusion,
yes,
your vision for Bureau de Change in Nigeria,
yes,
after recapitalization,
yes,
what is that your vision? What do you envisage will happen to the market?
Yes, honestly, it's not going to be business as usual. There is going to be changes. That's how many of us see, even with the body language of from the enforcement agency. So, my advice is that for those who have means, should key in to continue with the business. And for those who don't have, I pray may God Almighty Allah find a way for them to continue to live their life. But honestly, I believe, I'm optimistic, after the whole exercise is completed, the operation will be better. It will be taken to the next stage. Honestly, that's how I see it. As the cash is going to be more of cashless and more of electronic online transaction. More. The cash transaction will be less, maybe 30% or 20% cash transaction. The rest is going to be. And, doing online transaction is more accessible. That's where the government see the in and out of the transaction better.
And that will also end issues of fake currencies?
Of course, yes. As an operator, it's part of the requirement you should have a counterfeit detecting machine in your office. So, when currency is given to you, it must go through the machine first to ascertain the genuinity of the money before the transaction continues.
And even the sources of some money.
Of course, the source of the money, also the details of the customer, all those things will be taken up.
No wonder even we are prosecution witnesses.
Well, the idea, we are just playing our role as patriotic citizens and to ensure that the economy is stable, to ensure that there is no money laundering, to ensure that there is no financing of terrorism.
Thank you very much. They want to ensure no financing of terrorism,
Yes.
no money laundering, no 419 alias advanced fee fraud, and all that stuff.
Yes.
I want to thank our guest, talking of Alhaji Ibrahim Tanimu. He is a Bureau de Change operator here in Abuja. I want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asheman. It's my pleasure coming to you.
And as we usually say, proudly Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Keep on with the fight.
Thank you very much.
Let Nigeria be good.
By God's grace, inshallah, Nigeria will be better.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
My name is Ben Adam Shaman, and the program is Democracy in Action. The station is Third Eye Africa TV. I want to thank you for watching, and bye for now.